In the previous lecture, we have gone through members subjected to bending. Okay, we have gone through the theory part, and then we took a numerical example of a ball subjected to bending only. Okay, so today we'll see members subjected to combined bending as well as tension. So members subjected to combined bending and shear. Okay. We have first seen members subjected to shear, members subjected to tension only, and then we have seen members subjected to bending only. Now today we'll see members subjected to combined bending and tension. So for members subjected to combined bending and tension, we have to satisfy one interaction formula. The interaction formula is FCT by sigma CT plus FCBT by sigma CBT, and this should be less than or equal to 1. Here FCT is the actual, or we can say calculated stress, calculated direct tensile stress in concrete, or we can write this as calculated stress in concrete due to direct tension. Okay, whereas sigma CT is the permissible, or we can say allowable stress in concrete due to direct tension. FCBT is the actual, or calculated stress in concrete due to bending tension. and your sigma CBT is the permissible or allowable stress in concrete due to bending tension. Okay, so you have to find the actual tensile stresses in concrete and then actual tensile stresses due to bending tension, uh, and uh, and ensure that this ratio is less than 1. So let us take one example. So design a water tank. Design a water tank for a direct force, that is direct tensile force is 60 kilonewton per meter and bending moment of 40 kilonewton meter per meter. This is per meter length of the wall. Okay, this the direct tension force is per meter length of the wall, and this bending moment is also 40 kilonewton meter per meter length of the wall. The materials are M30 grade concrete and HYSD reinforcement of grade FP 415. Now assume length of wall, length of wall or length of tank to be more than 15 meter. Okay, so here it is given that the length of the wall is more than 15 meter. So we have to take the minimum steel accordingly. Okay. Given data, you have been given the tensile force of 60 kilonewton per meter length of tank. Okay, then bending moment M is equals to 40 kilonewton meter per meter length of tank. Okay, and the length of tank is length of tank is greater than or equal to 15 meter or greater than 15 meter, and you have been given the grade of concrete as M30 and grade of steel as HYSD 30415. So to start with, we'll assume some D by D ratio. So as a trial, try D by capital D ratio of 0.8. Okay. So for this, for balance condition, with a D by D ratio of 0.8, if you remember the chart, we'll be using the chart for this, or you can use the table also. There is one table also which gives this chart in tabular form. So okay, this table actually is for M25 and M30 in tabular form. This balance, the charts for the balance solution are converted into tabular form. See, this is your 0.75 D by D ratio. Okay, these are D by D ratio. D by D ratio of 0.75. This is zero point 0.8. Then this is 0.85. Then this is 0.9, and this one is 0.95. Okay, same way, this is the 0.75, this one. Then this is for the 0.8, this is for 0.85, this is for 0.9, and this one is for 0.95. Okay, so for if you see, for 0.8, this curve and this curve, they intersect somewhere here. Okay, so this is the point of intersection. So if you draw a horizontal line, you will get the m by bd square ratio. That is, we call it as q, or so this is your q value on y-axis, and on x-axis you will get the value of pt. And same thing is presented here in tabular form. For d by d ratio of 0.8, the m by bd ratio, see, it is between point 3. Okay, actually this is for the M25 grade we are looking. For in our case, it is M30, so it is 0.35 and 0.365. Okay, you can see that this is, you can compare this value 0.375. This, if you take a horizontal, to draw horizontal from here, it will be it will hit the y-axis around 0.317, around 0.32. Okay, so this is this value, and if you plot a y in y vertical line, Okay, so it will be around 0.333. That is this value. You would find the similar chart for M30 grade in the uh, material provided to you. Okay, so in that you will get this value 0.35 and 0.365 for M30 grade, because ours is M30 grade and our assumed D by D ratio is 0.8. So this M by BD square ratio is 0.35. So for this ratio, uh, Q, which is nothing but M by B D square, is given as 0.35, either from the table or from charts, from table or chart for balance solution. Balance solution for M30 grade, M30 and D by D ratio of 0.8. Okay, so you can now find the value of D from this for balance solution. So for balance solution, D is equal to square root of this M divided by B, 0.35B. Okay, now M is 40 into 10 to the power 6 divided by 0.35 into for 1 meter length. Okay, so you will get this value as 338.06 mm. Okay, now this is for the member subjected to only bending, but in our case it is also subjected to tension. So we'll take the higher value than this. So let us provide D is equal to 360 mm as overall depth. We are taking higher to accommodate, because to accommodate this direct tension also, because this depth is required for resisting only bending only. So let us take some higher depth. So your effective depth D will be equal to 360 minus clear cover 45, and let us say 20 mm bar, assume 20 mm bar, so minus 10, so it will be 305 mm. Okay, clear cover is equal to 45 mm, and assumed bar dia is equals to 20 mm. This can be lower also, but as a trial we are taking higher bar dia, so that we get reduce the effective depth, so we get conservative value of the steel. Okay, so now let us your actual D by D ratio, actual D by D ratio will be 305 divided by 360. How much is this? It is around 0.85. It is 0.847, so it is 0.85. Okay, so AST 1, we'll find AST for two cases. One AST1 is for the resisting bending and AST2 for resisting direct tension. So for resisting bending moment, okay, so that is equal to the formula is M by sigma st J into D. If you remember, for resisting the moment M, the amount of steel required is given by M by sigma st J into D, where M is 40 into 10 to the power 6 our bending moment. Okay. Uh, this value, okay, divided by sigma st for M30 grade. For M30 grade, you can write parameters here. Uh, for M30 grade, your sigma st is equal for Fe415 415 and for M30. Okay, so for Fe415 sigma st is 130 MPa, and for M30 the value of J lever arm factor is see, we have calculated earlier also. This is for M30. This is this this value. Okay, for M30 grade and HYSD bar, the value of J is 0.861. Okay, so it is this is J value is 0.861. That is lever arm factor. So 130 into 0.861 into this effective depth D, that is 305. So this comes out to be 1172 mm square. Okay. Next we find AST2. This is for resisting direct tension. Resisting direct tension. Now, if you remember from theory of direct tension, member subjected to direct tension, the amount of steel is given by T by sigma st. So it is T divided by sigma st. Now direct tension is this value 60 kilonewton per meter length of the wall. So that is 60 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 130. So it is around 462 mm square. Okay. And this uh, this direct tension is to be provided on both the faces. So on each faces, that is on each faces half of this will be provided. So it will be 231 mm square on each. Am I audible?
हाँ सर।
Yeah. So let us draw a section of the tank. Okay, if this is the section, our overall depth is 360. Okay, and let us say it is subjected to a sagging moment. Then let us say this is the tension phase, and let us say this is compression phase. So this amount of steel, that is this, okay, it is provided on the tension phase because it is provided to resist bending tension. So it is provided here. Okay, and this amount of reinforcement which is subjected, which is provided to resist direct tension. Okay, see, this is the bending moment M, and this is the direct tension T. So to resist the bending moment M, the steel is provided on this phase. To resist this direct tension, the amount of steel required is this. But this steel can be provided because the depth is more than 200, so it cannot be provided centrally. So it has to be provided in two phases. As per our earlier theory, if the depth of the section is more than 200, then we have to provide the reinforcement in two layers or on both the sides. So half of this will be provided on tension phase and half of this will be provided on compression phase. So so this much amount of steel, this amount of steel will be provided on the tension phase. So it is provided here, tension on the tension phase. Okay, so total amount of steel to resist the tension, or total amount of steel on the tension phase. So total your AST on flexural tension side will be equal to this plus this, that is 1172 plus 231. So the total is 1403 mm square. So let us provide 16 mm dia at the rate 140 mm center to center. So this will give you your AST provided equal to 1436 mm square, which is greater than 1403 mm square. Therefore, okay. Now we also have to check the minimum steel, whether this value is we have to ensure that this value is more than the minimum steel, or else we have to provide the minimum amount of the steel. So let us find minimum steel. So minimum reinforcement per phase will be equal to 0.35 is for the total cross section. So on each phase it will be divided by 2. Okay, multiply by this is in percentage, of the total cross section. So multiply by width into depth divided by 100 because it is in percentage. So this comes out to be 630 mm square. Okay. So this amount is actually less than, this is less than this 1436 mm square. Okay, but this is greater than this value. Okay, that is 231 mm square. Okay, this is on the tension phase. This amount of steel is provided on tension phase, and this is required on the compression phase. If you remember, this amount of steel is to be provided on the compression phase. Because to resist the direct tension, this amount of steel is required, and which is uh, provided on both the phases. So 231 on this phase and 231 on this phase. So the amount of steel required on compression phase is 231, but this is less than minimum. Okay, so we have to provide at least minimum. So let us provide 5 12 mm at the 170 mm center to center. This is uh, on flexural compression side. Flexural compression side. Okay, that is this side. Okay, whereas this amount of steel was provided on the tension phase. So this is provided ASC. We call this as ASC, that is on compression phase. So it is equal to 664 mm square. So it is greater than 630 mm square. That is also okay. Okay, so we now have provided the amount of steel on both the faces, and we have the section depth also. Now final check uh, is to make sure that uh, that the interaction formula, that is the ratio of the permissible and actual stress actual stress and permissible stress due to direct tension and bending compression is less than 1, so that we have to satisfy it. Okay, now this was about the main steel. uh, okay, we also have to provide the see, actually it is shown wrong. This has to be shown with a straight line, and this for this. So we have provided this steel, and so this is your AST, and this is your ASC. Now we also have to provide the distribution bars. So distribution bars will be based on the minimum steel requirement. So minimum distribution bars so distribution bars minimum distribution bar requirement is this value 630 mm square. So same provide 12 dia at the 170 mm center to center, that is on both faces, on both faces. So AS provided will be equal to 664 mm square, which is greater than 630 mm square. Therefore, okay. So summarize. Let us summarize the steel provided. So on flexural tension side, flexural tension side, the amount of steel provided is 16 mm at the rate 140 center to center. Okay, and the distribution, this is the main steel, and distribution steel is 12 dia at the rate 170 center to center. Then on the flexural compression side, the reinforcement provided is 12 dia at the 170 mm center to center, that is on both ways. Both ways means both the main as well as the distribution, they both are of same twelve dia at the rate 170 mm center to center. And for this, this is 12 dia at the 170 mm center to center. Okay. This is on tension phase and this is on compression phase. Okay, and this is the main steel, that is 16 dia at the rate 140 mm center to center. Clear? So this is your 16 dia at the rate 140 mm center to center, and this is 12 at the rate 170 center to center, and this and this, they both are 12 at the rate 170 center to center. So now let us check for the uncracked condition. Check this was for the crack condition, whatever the steel we have provided, and That was for the crack condition. Now for uncracked condition, we first have to find the neutral axis. Let us say this is the section. This is the overall depth 360, and the effective depth is let us say 305. We do not change the cover. In the earlier initial calculation, we have considered effective depth as 360 minus 45 minus 10. Instead of 10, this will now be 8. But this 2 mm we are not changing it, so our effective depth will be 305 mm only, as earlier. So your effective cover C is actually C effective is actually 45 plus 10, that is 55 mm. So we are not changing this effective cover because only 2 mm difference is there. So your x will be equal to 360 into 1000, that is 1 meter width, into half of this. We have to find the centroid. This is the centroid of section. The centroid of section x is equals to this 360 into 1 meter into half of the depth, that is 180. Okay, if you remember, centroid of the section is equals to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. Here a1 x1 is the entire concrete section, a2 is the steel on the tension phase, and a3 is the steel on the compression phase, and a1 okay, so accordingly we can find. Now on the compression side, we have steel, this is AST, and on the compression phase we have ASC. So it will be M minus 1 modular ratio minus 1, because the entire concrete is considered here. So we have to deduct the area of the steel, or area of the concrete occupied by the steel on tension phase. So it is M minus 1. So modular ratio for M30 grade is 9.33 minus 1 times the area of the steel, that is 146 1436, and the centroidal distance of this, the distance of this from this face is 305. So multiply by 305, then this distance is the effective cover, that is this value. So that is 55. So plus again M minus 1. So M is actually 9.33. So 9.33 minus 1 into area of the steel provided on compression phase. So on compression phase, it is 364 amount steel provided is 364 664 into this distance, that is 55. Okay, and volt divided by the area, that is 360 into 1000 plus this m minus 1 into, that is 9.33 minus 1 into area of the steel provided, that is 1436 plus 9.33 minus 1 into 664. So you will get the value of x as 182. Actually, this is the centroid of the transformed section, you can say. Because it is an uncracked section, so entire section is uncracked. So we have to transform the steel into concrete. So we are finding the centroid of the this transformed section. So this is your this centroid. Okay, so your x bar is 182 mm. So from the bottom it will be d minus x bar. So it will be 360 minus 182. 360 minus 182. So it will be 178. So d minus x bar is equal to 360 minus 182. So that is 178 mm. Now the area of the transformed section, area of transformed section, we call this as AT, will be equal to this denominator, that is area of the B into D plus m minus 1 into AST plus m minus 1 into AST and ASC. So this is nothing but the denominator value, that is 360 into 1000 plus 9.33 minus 1 into 1436 plus 9.33 minus 1 into 664. So this transformed area AT is equal to 377,493 mm square. Then we have to find the inertia, moment of inertia of the transformed section. So moment of inertia of transformed section, that is Ixx, is equal to, first the concrete part, so it will be BD cube 1 by 3 see here it is 1 by 3 BD B into D cube. D cube we are taking as 182 cube plus 178 cube. See, this formula is from if you remember for the rectangular section, the moment of inertia about the base, or at the top is given by B D cube by 3. Okay, so if this is my if I split the two into two rectangle, if I split my section into two rectangles, this is 1 and this is 2, so this is 182 and this is 178. So moment of inertia about the base will be BD cube by 3, BD cube by 3. Or instead of this, you can also use BD cube by 12. So 1 by 2 12 BD this 360 BD cube by 12 plus A into x bar square. So area is 360 into 100 1000, 360 into 1000 into x bar square. So x bar will be actually 180 minus 182 because your actual section is at this is about the yes 180 minus 182 whole square. So it will give you the same answer only. See 1 by 3 into 1000 into 182 cube plus 178 created 3.889 and below that. Yes, either of the equation you can use. You can use this, which is nothing but your b d cube by 12 plus ax bar square. Okay, you can use this formula or this formula plus this let us take this as common. So 8.33 into uh, area of the steel 1436 and its lever arm distance is 305 square. So 305 square minus 182. So 305 square minus 305 minus 182 square. Okay. Let us add 1.33 and into 664 into the distance of this is 55 minus 182 whole square. So so you will get moment of inertia as 4.16 into 10 to the power 9 mm raised to 4. So it is 4.1596, that is 4.16 into 10 to the power 9. So you have now a moment of inertia also. So your direct actual stress in concrete due to direct tension, that is FCT, is equal to T divided by A, tension divided by the area. So T is 60 into 10 to the power 3 divided by area. Transformed area is this, that is 377,493. 377,493. So this will be 0.159 Newton per mm square. And your actual stress in concrete due to bending tension, we call this as FCBT. So FCBT is equal to, so if you remember the stress formula, sigma m by I is equals to sigma by y. So you want to find stress, so sigma is equals to my by I. So it will be my by I. So moment is 40 into 10 to the power 6. Uh, your this bending tension, this is your centroidal axis. This is centroidal axis. So from the bending, this is tension phase and this is compression phase. So distance of the extreme tension fibers subjected to extreme tension will be this. So distance of that fiber will be this value, 178. That is d minus x bar. So it is 178 divided by I. That is this 4.1916 into 10 to the power 9. So this is equal to 1.71 Newton per mm square. Okay, and the permissible values of permissible stress in concrete due to due to direct tension, that is sigma CT, that is equal to, if you remember the table, sigma CT for 10 M30 grade, it is 1.5. Okay, so that is 1.5 Newton per mm square, and permissible stress in concrete permissible stress in concrete due to bending tension, that is sigma CBT. The permissible value of sigma CBT is this 2, okay, for M30 grade. So it is 2 Newton per mm square. So your ratio FCT divided by sigma CT plus FCBT divided by sigma CBT is equal to 0.159 divided by 1.5 plus this 1.71 divided by 2. So this ratio is 0.106 plus 0.855, which is equal to 0.961. So this is less than 1. Therefore, okay. So your design is okay. Okay. So this is how you can design the members subjected to combined bending and tension. Okay. Any doubt in this? Oh, wait a minute. Yes. Any question? Any doubt in this example? Okay, so let's stop here. In the next lecture, we'll go through the design of circular tanks. Okay, so let's end the meeting here.